He's helpful, optimistic, and occasionally bloodthirsty. This is everything you need to know about Fallout's Vault Boy. October 10th, 1997. Something About the Way You Look Tonight by Elton John was the #1 song in America. The Peacemaker, starring George Clooney and Nicole Kidman, was the top movie at the box office, and Fallout hit store shelves. When Vault 13 opened, it unknowingly changed pop culture. In universe, Vault Boy is the perpetually chipper mascot of the evil Vault Tech Corporation. He appears on company advertisements, training manuals, and a wide variety of in-world products. His happy persona is often used as a satirical contrast to the true horrors of Vault-Tec and the grim reality of living in the wasteland. In our world, Vault Boy has appeared in every Fallout game and has become the literal face of the franchise. Vault Boy was originally conceived by Leonard Boyarsky, the creative director of Fallout 1. Here's the original concept art, which is basically the character we know today. Boyarsky took inspiration from the Monopoly character Rich Uncle Pennybags, and I bet you'll never be able to unsee it now. Skill Guy, as he was known then, was then handed off to artist George Allman. The assignment was then picked up by artist Tremel Isaac, who took over and finalized the look. Vault Boy was used to visualize the special system in-game and added an irreverent source of satire that set the tone of the wasteland and the general world of Fallout. Illustrations of Vault Boy were also prominently featured in the game's instruction manual, the Vault Dweller's Survival Guide. This document featured the very first canonical mention of his name, Vault Man. Yeah, it's wrong, but cut him a break. It was early and the team was just figuring things out. He wasn't even the mascot on the Pip-Boy itself in Fallout 1. That honor went to Robco's mascot, Pip-Boy, obviously. And he is a legally distinct character despite looking almost identical. This character was fleshed out in the lore many years later. There's also a female version of Vault Boy who shares the same rosy outlook on the apocalypse. Vault Girl has been seen alongside Vault Boy on multiple occasions. She also represents gender-specific perks, or if a player picks a female Wastelander in later games. Fallout 1 set the world on fire, and the team got hard at work. Fallout 2 was released a little over a year later on October 29th, 1998. Artist Brian Menzies provided all new Vault Boy images for Fallout 2. He also did Fallout New Vegas, by the way, which was excellent work as well. He stuck very closely to the style set in Fallout 1, but we did get to see some expanded elements, like the Vault Men in the intro cinematic. At this point in Fallout history, Vault Boy wasn't really the all-purpose face of the franchise quite yet. This is an unused image of Vault Boy intended for use within the game's reputation system. Child Killer was nixed in favor of the more palatable Hated status. It was never implemented and wasn't intended for release, but the internet works in mysterious ways. This image sparks some understandable controversy. It's pretty shocking in the modern context. Brian Menzies offered some insight and perspective on its creation. Enjoy this robot narrator voice reading his very sincere explanation.
This image was unused and the only Vault Boy image to ever be cut from Fallout 2. I'm sure you can figure out why. I remember when I got the request to do a perk illustration for Child Killer that there would be no way to keep it from being offensive. I mean really, how do you make an illustration of Child Killer and keep it from being offensive? Anyway, for some reason I thought this was the least offensive way to do it. I have no idea what I was thinking. Even the designer who requested it realized it was a bad idea, so we nixed it. Looking back on it now, I can't believe I drew this.
So, whenever you come across this image, don't blame Brian. He seems like a really nice guy, and it's clear that the creative minds behind the early Fallout games did not have plushies in mind at the time. Frankly, there wasn't a lot of regard for Vault Boy in the early years. I mean, the developers of Fallout Tactics included the character as a joke with yet another name. Over their adventure, players can encounter Pip-Boy, who uses goofy 1950s dialogue and can even join your party. Oh, quick side note, Vault Boy is also still referred to as Pip-Boy in some of Bethesda's trademark documents. Confused yet? Great! Bethesda bought the rights to the franchise and released Fallout 3 on October 28th, 2008. I didn't realize so many of these games dropped in October, which is also my birth month, and I'm originally from Maryland. I guess I was just destined to be a Fallout fan. Under Todd Howard and company, Vault Boy was pushed to the forefront of the franchise. And by forefront, I mean merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that? Merchandising? Come! I'll show you.
Lunchboxes, t-shirts, bobbleheads, girlfriends, boyfriends, controllers, pets, regrets, cigarettes, vinyl, IRL, unlicensed, unwanted, unbelievable, and of course, disc plates. Since Fallout 3, Vault Boy has been everywhere. Of course, inside the game, Vault Boy functioned the same and remained a fixture of the UI inside the Pip-Boy. New Vegas followed closely behind Fallout 3 and has some of my personal favorite depictions of Vault Boy. It's probably just a preference thing because they just feel right in my mind. In 2015, Fallout 4 gave Vault Boy a big visual upgrade with the brand new special system. This was another huge leap in terms of his popularity due to the success of Fallout 4. Vault Boy was featured prominently throughout the game and marketing campaign. When you boot up Fallout 4, you're even greeted with a series of animated Vault Boy shorts explaining the perk system. In 2017, Vault Boy basically got his own game with Fallout Shelter. You play as an overseer of your own Vault Tech brand vault. You can create a utopian community of the future, or torture them horrifically. It's your choice. With the ever-expanding popularity of the series, Vault Boy started popping up in other games as well. He even made an appearance in Smash Ultimate, which is crazy to consider. In 2018, Fallout 76 was unleashed upon the gaming community. Horrible launch, but a very solid game right now. You should give it a try. I'm a big fan, actually. And over the years, 76 has featured Vault Boy in pretty much every way imaginable. He is all over that game. Yet again, Vault Boy appeared in a series of promotional shorts outlining the perk system in Fallout 76, but this time they were in color. In a way, Vault Boy was the perfect mascot for Fallout 76. He kept our spirits high while the world burned around us. In 2024, Amazon Prime released Season 1 of the Fallout TV show. And of course, Vault Boy was included in a bunch of different ways. First, in its pre-release marketing, Amazon commissioned a series of animated shorts called the Vault Seller's Survival Guide. I see what you did there, well played, Prime. The shorts were styled like Vault Tech training videos. They covered the job responsibilities and best practices around being a Vault Tech employee. They were narrated by Bud Askins and hooked directly into the world of the show. And the show itself made some pretty hefty contributions to Vault Boy lore. Within the community, there has been a long-standing myth surrounding Vault Boy's most iconic pose. For years, fans have speculated that it wasn't just a positive symbol of optimism, that he's actually holding up his thumb to gauge the distance and relative safety of a nuclear blast. If the cloud is smaller than your thumb, you're A-OK. This idea was dramatized in a powerful scene where Cooper Howard teaches this fact to his daughter. While not a direct correlation with Vault Boy, it lends credibility and further ties this concept to the character. But the developers of the original game have debunked this theory. According to them, the thumbs up is simply a sign of Vault Boy's positive attitude. He's saying that everything's okay, even though it definitely is not. And like seriously, the rule of thumb isn't a real thing. It won't save you on Doomsday. Good TV, bad science, not real Vault Boy lore. But the other TV show edition gets a big thumbs up. During a scene where Cooper is doing a promotional photo shoot for Vault Tech, he hits an improvised pose that's instantly recognizable. This moment heavily implies that Vault Boy in-universe is inspired by Cooper Howard, the iconic movie star, and of course, the Ghoul. It's a subtle nod to dedicated fans and adds a little bit of depth and backstory to the character. Fantastic writing. Would expect nothing less from Jonathan Nolan and the outstanding team behind the series. From a parody based on a board game to a pop culture icon, Vault Boy and Fallout are inseparable. The series has had its ups and downs, but through it all, he's always been there to keep our spirits high. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, drop a sub and come hang out again. But until next time, have a super duper day.